Do you have any update on the contract talks with Kerrigan and Trent Williams?
They're ongoing. Nothing substantial, but there's been discussions. We're not in a hurry to do it. We'd like to. We see them as quality Redskin football players. And they're both highly talented, so it's a big contract. But discussions are going on. We're definitely staying in touch with the agents.
To follow up on a couple other questions, you mentioned you had until Monday. Will you wait until Monday to officially exercise that option, or are you doing that?
Yeah, we'll do it Monday morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned the importance of bringing in character guys. I did want to ask you about Chris Culliver. Was one of the signs, and you probably know him going back. What was that vetting process like?
We do background checks on everybody. We know the guys coming out. I remember the majority of the guys coming out over the last 20 years with stuff they did or supposedly did. And then also what happens while they're in the league. We do a background check with the league office, every guy before we sign them. And we do our own research. And it's very important to me, especially like free agency, when you bring in considered starters, or bigger name guys, veterans, that they are good guys, because they're going to be the leaders of the young guys that we draft. We did all of our research on Chris Culliver and came back good, everything, all the research we needed to do. And, the last thing I want to do is try to embarrass his organization, and bringing in so-called bad guys, I won't do that. If there's any kind of question mark that it might be a bad guy, we're not going to do it.
Scott, what part of the skill set of an offensive lineman is most important to you? Footwork, hand punch?
Well, it depends on position. Are you talking about tackle, guard, center?
If you can separate both?
Well, the thing with tackles, especially the left tackle, which we're very lucky to have Trent here, size, arm length, foot quickness, flexibility in the lower, being able to adjust movement. I think your tackles, you want to be your bigger guys, taller, longer. With our guards and with Coach Callahan and what our plans are is power, inline power. We're talking, 320 plus hopefully, and just coming off and headbutting and going. We want to be able to run the football. I think it's very important. It sets up everything else for us. And then as a center, of course, he's usually the leader. He needs to be highly intelligent, be able to read the defenses and make the checks he needs to make. But again, at any one of those positions, we want big guys. We want smart guys. We want tough guys. I'll give a little bit on athletic ability, especially inside, at guard and center, for just a consistent football player that gets out there every day and you know exactly what you got,
Scott, you're part of ground-up operations in Seattle and San Francisco. You've had 3 months now to look at the roster, right? How is this one a little different than the other two?
Well, I don't want to really, knock the past rosters, but this one has more talent at certain skill positions than I had in San Francisco. In San Fran, we did have the first pick in the draft, and there was a reason for that because we had the worst record the year before. But I would say here, just because of skill position, there's more talent. But again, we need to add at every spot. We need to add, like we did in San Fran, we did in Seattle, add just quality football players. They're going to come in and understand it's not about the individuals, it's some of the parts on both sides of the ball and special teams. I think it's very important as we draft. Later on through this draft, the special teams comes into play big time, covering kicks and punts or returning kicks and punts. It's a third of the game. I think it's very important. But I'd love to hit some superstars through this draft, and who knows if we will or won't. But I know this: we're gonna get good football players that what you got every day, consistent, competitive, tough guys. It's all about the team.